morning dear students and welcome to Genesis. In today's lecture I am mainly going to discuss the adaptations of leaf to perform the process of photosynthesis and the external and internal factors that determine the rate of photosynthesis. Now in a leaf there are several adaptations that are shown. Now, a leaf of a plant also shows several adaptations to increase the output of photosynthesis. Now, here are the main 7 adaptations that are shown by leaf which we have to study. Number 1 is the large surface area. So, instead of coiling the leaf, which a plant does to reduce the rate of transpiration, to increase photosynthesis, a plant will try to expand its leaf surface as much as possible so that it can absorb maximum sunlight. The second is leaf arrangement. In this, the leaves are arranged in such a manner that the sun rays drop perpendicularly on their surface, and this also helps in absorbing maximum sunlight. Third is the cuticle and the upper epidermis. The upper epidermis and cuticle of leaves, they are transparent, which easily allow sun rays to enter inside the leaves. Fourth, numerous stomata. As we already know, if we increase the number of stoma, then what will happen? The rate with which they can capture carbon dioxide from the nature will also increase. This will also positively influence the process of photosynthesis. Then is the thinness of the leaves. Thinness of the leaves will ensure quicker transportation of substances within the cells of the leaves. Next is the chloroplast. The chloroplast will remain accumulated in those areas of the leaf which can absorb maximum sunlight. So if you see, the palisade mesophyll layer of the leaf contains maximum chloroplast compared to the spongy mesophyll. Why? Because the palisade mesophyll is arranged above the spongy mesophyll. So it directly, or rather it can quickly get sunlight compared to spongy mesophyll. So the concentration of chloroplast is more in the palisade mesophyll compared to the spongy mesophyll. And the last is the extensive vein system of a leaf. Extensive vein system, we refer to the veins and their arrangement within the leaf. They are extensively arranged within the leaf so as to increase the transportation of water to the mesophyll cells and to also increase the transportation of glucose from the mesophyll cells to other layers of the leaf or to other parts of the leaf. So these are the main adaptations which are shown by leaves for the process of photosynthesis. Now let us discuss what are the external and internal factors that determine rate of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, or rather the rate of photosynthesis, is affected by 2 different factors. External factor, which is outside the plant body, and internal factor, which is inside the plant body. So let us discuss which are the external factors that can affect the rate of photosynthesis. Number 1 is the intensity of light. So we can expect that as intensity of light will increase, the rate of photosynthesis must also increase. It is partially true, but up to a certain level. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि अगर intensity of light बहुत high हो तो rate of photosynthesis भी बहुत high होगा, नहीं. Rather, rate of photosynthesis, intensity of light के साथ will increase up to a certain level, and after that it is going to be static. That means it's going to stabilize at that point of time. So if we plot a graph to show this concept to you, then I keep the rate of photosynthesis is the intensity of light. Then in that case, as the intensity of light will increase, the rate of photosynthesis will also increase, but then will become stable after some time. There will be no further rise in the rate of photosynthesis, no matter how high is the intensity of sunlight. But then with the concentration of carbon dioxide, the concept is almost same. There will be a rise in the rate of photosynthesis with the rise in carbon dioxide concentration, especially if the rate of photosynthesis is plotted against 2 factors. That means one is intensity of light and the concentration of carbon dioxide. If you plot against them, then what do we see? With the rise in the rate of intensity, the rate of intensity of sunlight, the rate of photosynthesis will increase, but then will start to stabilize. Assume this point as S dash. And then if there is a rise in the concentration of carbon dioxide, then again you can expect a rise in the rate of photosynthesis up to a certain level. Which is that level? Up to the concentration of 0.05%, and here the rate of photosynthesis will increase and then stabilize at the point S2. So now the graph will look somewhere like this. There was a rise up till S when there was only a rise in the rate of photosynthesis with the rise in the intensity of light. But then from here, if we also increase the concentration of carbon dioxide, we will see there is again a rise in the rate of photosynthesis. Why? Because now there are two parameters. There is a rise in the intensity of light, and there is also a rise in the concentration of carbon dioxide. Now the next factor is the temperature. With rise in temperature, there will be a rise in the rate of photosynthesis, but there is an optimum range of temperature till which it will happen, and that optimum range is from 35 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Beyond 40 degrees Celsius, if the temperature rises, then the rate of photosynthesis will stop. And the last factor is the water content. So if there is not enough water in the soil, or for some reason the rate of absorption of water by the roots has gone down, then in that case it can cause stomatal closure, as a result of which there will be less absorption of carbon dioxide from the nature, and this will again adversely affect the rate of photosynthesis. Now let us discuss which are the internal factors that will increase the rate of photosynthesis. Number one, chlorophyll. Definitely, so if there is any nutritional deficiency in the plant, if there is deficiency of magnesium that leads to lesser production of chlorophyll pigment, then it will definitely impact the rate of photosynthesis. Then is the protoplasm. With protoplasm, we have to ensure that the protoplasm is hydrated, and if there is already enough sugar produced by the process of photosynthesis and is accumulated in the protoplasm, that will also reduce the rate of photosynthesis. Under structure of leaf, we mainly consider points like the distribution of the stomata, then thickness of the cuticle, and the size of the leaf. All of these factors will also determine the rate of photosynthesis. So we have discussed the external and the internal factors that affect photosynthesis. Under external factors, intensity of the light, only up to a certain level rate of photosynthesis will increase, then it stabilizes. Concentration of carbon dioxide, if it increases from 0.03 to 0.05% with a rise in the intensity of light, then the rate of photosynthesis will increase. Temperature, optimal temperature is 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. Up to this temperature, with every 10 degree rise in the temperature, the rate of photosynthesis doubles. And the last one is the water content, which will determine the rate of photosynthesis. So if the plant cells are not turgid enough, then it will cause stomatal closure, and this will affect the rate of photosynthesis. Amongst internal factor, chlorophyll pigment, if they are not formed, if they are not properly getting formed in the plant cell, then it will definitely affect photosynthesis. Protoplasm, if it is dehydrated or if it is already overloaded with sugar, then rate of photosynthesis will go down. And in the structure of leaf, we already know that the stomatal distribution, size of the leaf, thickness of the cuticle, all of these will determine the rate of photosynthesis. Well, we are meeting again in my next video. Take care and do not forget to subscribe my channel.